Good morning, my dear friends. The sun wakes up not only to warm the world, but to remind us you are here still. By the sheer wonder of your breath, you have been given one more day to live. And not just to exist, but to spend this day with purpose, with honesty aimed at something greater than your troubles and stronger than your worries. Now, I talk to all of you who have experienced the sadness of late night crying, to the women who've quietly asked, God, are you hearing me? To the men who feel weighed down by hidden struggles, to the souls standing at the edge of hope, unsure if they'll ever see light again. This is your special morning. And this morning, I ask you to join in a dedicated time that won't just adjust your plans, it will reshape your spirit. Morning dedication, my loves, isn't simply a timed activity. It's a powerful shift in spirit. It is the holy practice of connecting with God before you face the world. Before work messages, before traffic jams, before others' opinions, before bills scream for your money, before the news fills you with anxiety. Sit quietly. Sit gently. Sit ready to yield. Say this in a soft voice. Lord, I am here. Use me. Lord, I am weary. Fix me. Lord, I don't know what's next. Guide me. You see, when you start your day by settling your heart on the divine, everything else in the world must adjust its speed to match your calmness. You stop running after approval. You stand firm in your truth. You are no longer defined by your old hurts. You are formed by your worship. There's something very special about the early hours. Before the noise starts, before phones buzz, before people start demanding things of you, there is a deep calm, a silence, a soft message from heaven that floats between sleeping and waking. That, my friend, is not just time. That is an open invitation. When the sun opens its bright eyes and spreads its light across your room, it is not just another day. It is a fresh gift sent straight from God's hand, new, clean, and not yet claimed. And before you give it over to the needs of others, you must first give it to the one who gave it all. Start your day with God. I don't mean quickly looking at a Bible verse while scrolling on your phone. I don't mean a quick prayer mumbled while pouring coffee. I mean sit still. Still enough to listen to your heartbeat. Still enough to hear His voice. Still enough to remind your soul who is in charge of this day, this body, this very breath. Because the world is loud, child. It will rush at you with voices, images, and then many different ideas. It will tell you what you should wear, what you should fear, what you should chase. But when you start your day with God, you remember that you are already enough, already chosen, already surrounded by glory. Starting your day with God is not about marking something off a list. It's not about being a good Christian or trying to look holy for others. No, it is about true survival. It is about spiritual protection. You wouldn't walk barefoot on hot-burning ground and call it courage. So why walk into this world without covering yourself with prayer? There are many people who wake up with worry in their heart and confusion in their head. They rush into traffic, into work, into their marriages without first stepping into the presence of the one who knows all the answers. And then they wonder why their day falls apart like a house without a strong base. But oh, when you begin with God, you move slower but with certainty. You speak less but with true understanding. You worry less but believe more, because your morning becomes your high place. It is where you see things clearly, where you remember who you are and who owns you, where you don't just wake up, you truly rise up. Let the first voice you hear be His. Not the bills, not your ex-partner, not your doubts or old mistakes. Let the first voice be that soft, quiet message that says, my dear one, I am with you. Because when you know you are not alone, courage begins to grow. Hope starts to breathe. Peace starts to move freely. And child, if you don't know what to say to God, just say this. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you for another chance. Thank you for kindness I didn't earn and favor I can't pay back. Because thankfulness, my loves, is the gateway that opens up to joy. It is hard to feel angry and thankful at the same time. It is hard to complain when your soul is counting its blessings. When you thank God in the morning, your problems may not disappear, but your way of seeing things will change. And that, my friend, changes everything else. Do not think little of what even 5 minutes with God can do. The world will try to pull you into its rush. Check your phone. Answer that message. Get to work. Be busy. Be fast. But God asks you to be quiet, to be present, to be filled up before you start giving out to others. I have learned that a woman who starts her day with God is a powerful force against trouble. She is not easily shaken. She doesn't give up when difficulties arrive. She walks into rooms carrying something the world cannot give her and cannot take away. She carries peace like a sweet scent and wisdom like a high crown. A man who begins with God isn't lost, seeking approval. He doesn't act for praise. He stands strong, rooted like a tree by calm waters, Because he knows the power he has is not in his own effort, but in his connection with God. You see, my dear one, starting your day with God is the best form of self-care. It is the most powerful statement of your faith. It is telling the universe, before I make a move, I will seek my Creator. It is saying to your fear, you will not rule this day. It is whispering to your past, you have no power here. It is a holy custom that builds holy people. And even if the day goes wrong, even if the car won't start, the kids are upset, or the job is frustrating, you walk differently because you've already been with the King. Because your spirit is held firm, because your morning dedication was your protection and your prayer was your strength. It is not about doing things perfectly, child. It is about being present. God is not looking for fancy words. He is listening for open hearts. He is not impressed by how well you speak. He is moved by your honesty. Tell him your worries. Tell him your hopes. Tell him what you're too scared to say out loud. Lay it all down there in the morning and then rise, not hurried, not anxious, but renewed. Because when you give God the first part of your day, you are saying He is first in your life. And what is offered to Him never comes back empty. The time you spend with God is never wasted. It is like an investment. It grows bigger. It is full of power and seasoned with grace. So tomorrow, when your alarm rings, don't just get up out of habit. Rise with intention. Let your feet touch the floor like a strong person ready for their day. Let your mouth say the name that breaks bad situations. Let your soul remember this day is a gift. This life is a gift. And your morning is sacred ground. Start your day with God, my love. And watch how the rest of your life begins to be different. Words have strength. They are not just sounds in the air, my love. They are tools. They construct. They destroy. They become the blueprint for how we see our world. And when you wake up each morning, before the world has a chance to tell you who you are, you must use your own voice to create your truth. Speak life over yourself. Not because the mirror says you're good looking, but because the air in your lungs says you are still growing. You are not a finished item. You are like clay still being shaped by the divine. And in this world that makes money from your lack of confidence, your dislike of yourself, your quietness, it is a brave action to say, I am enough. Speak life. Because sadness is loud and very common. Negative talk is easy. People spread it quickly like a fast fire. But to speak what is true, to rise with thanks, to say for sure, I will not be defined by my old hurts. That requires bravery and it requires practice. You must become the kind of person who talks to herself with kindness, with respect, with awe. You must become your own safe place. Before you ask the world to believe in you, believe in yourself. Before you run to a man, a boss, a job title, or a friend for approval, stand tall in your own spirit and declare, I am important because I was born. I am strong because I kept going. I am worthy because God put His image into me. Or your voice matters. Not just when you talk to others, but especially when you talk to yourself. That voice inside you, whether it tells you the truth or whispers doubt, sets the feeling for your whole day. So, what is it saying? What have you been giving it? Lies that you are broken, useless, too much, not enough? Or have you been feeding your soul with promises and praise? I have watched people bend under the weight of their own words. I have watched strong men call themselves weak until their bodies started to agree. I have seen beautiful women criticize their own names until their hearts forgot their worth. This is not a slight problem, my dear. It is hurting and it can be stopped. Speak life. When you get up in the morning and your body feels sore from the struggles of yesterday, say this, yet I rise. When you look in the mirror and all you see are the signs of age and time, say this, I am still here. I am still holy. When the day ahead looks uncertain, your money looks funny, your kids are wild, your dreams seem far away, say this, but God is close. Because words are not just for talking, they are for creating. God spoke the world into existence. He didn't build the skies with tools or sew the oceans with string. He spoke. And if we are made to be like Him, our words do hold power. Speak what you are looking for until you see it. Not because the world is listening, but because your spirit is. You see, belief comes from hearing. And sometimes the person who needs to hear your belief the most is you. You need to hear yourself say, I can manage hard things. You need to hear yourself say, peace is mine. You need to hear yourself say, I am not my past, I am God's promise. There will be days when nobody cheers for you. Days when no one calls, when your email inbox is empty, when your name isn't on anyone's important list. That is when you must be your own cheerleader. You must pull your own soul back from the edge of giving up. You must look yourself in the eye and say, I might not be where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. A child, don't wait for clapping. The world is too unpredictable. One minute they cheer you, the next they turn on you. But the Lord never changes and His truth never disappears. So stand firm on that rock and let your words be like water to your tired soul. Tell yourself the truth even when your voice shakes. Say, I am loved, I am chosen, I am called, I am improving, I am growing, I am forgiven. Tell yourself, yes, I have made mistakes, but I am not my mistake. Tell yourself, yes, I have scars, but they are signs that I lived and I learned and I lasted. Speak it, because if you don't, the lies will fill the quiet space. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you. He only needs you to agree with him. If he can get you to say, I can't, then you won't try. If he can make you believe, I'm worthless, then you will live like it's true. So take your words back. Snatch them out of the hands of sadness. Pull them out of the mouths of those who have misjudged you. Gather them from the shadows of shame and declare again, I am wonderfully and beautifully made. Don't only speak it when you feel like it. Speak it when you don't. Speak it until your feelings listen to your faith. Speak it until your situation lines up with your true purpose. Life and death are in the power of your words. And you, child, have been given that holy power. Use it not to curse your day, but to bless it. Use it not to bury your dreams, but to bring them back to life. Look in the mirror each morning with kindness. Don't rush past your own face like it doesn't deserve love. Look at those eyes. They have seen hard times and beautiful times. Look at that skin. It holds the stories of many generations. Look at that soul. It is not perfect, but it is precious. Tell yourself you are improving, you are learning, you are rising. And when others say bad things about you, let your own voice be stronger. When they say you can't, let your soul shout, but God says I can. When they say you're finished, let your belief reply, He's not done with me yet. And when the weight of the world feels heavy, speak light. When the night feels long, speak daybreak. When your knees feel weak, speak strength. When your heart is broken, speak hope. Speak life, my dear, over your sadness, over your thoughts, over your path, over your happiness, over your name, over your children, over your future. Because when no one else is speaking truth over you, your own voice may be the lifesaver that rescues you. There is a kind of prayer that doesn't need to be fancy. A kind of prayer that doesn't require perfect words or beautiful sentences. A kind of prayer that comes not from the lips, but from the deep center of a tired soul. And it is this kind of prayer, raw, real, reaching out, that touches heaven. Too many of us have been taught to pray like actors reading a script. We say what we think we are supposed to say. We wrap our words in careful phrasing, dressing them up for God like Sunday clothes, hoping they will be good enough. But my dear, God is not moved by practiced religious behavior. He is moved by honesty. He is touched by the shaky whisper of a heart that says, Lord, I don't know what to do, but I need you. Prayer is not a performance. It is a lifeline. It is not an item on your to-do list. It is the conversation that keeps you alive when life takes the breath out of you. It is the deep breath in of trust and the slow breath out of giving up control. It's not about saying the right thing. It's about saying the real thing. When you wake up in the morning, before your feet even touch the floor, whisper something truthful. You don't have to sound like a preacher or a church leader. You don't have to quote old religious text. Just say what your soul is desperate to let out. Maybe it's thank you for another day. Maybe it's God, I'm terrified. Maybe it's Lord, help me not to lose my mind today. That is a holy prayer. That is enough. Because what matters in prayer is not how loudly you speak, but how deeply you believe. Prayer is not magic. It does not force the world to follow your wishes. It bends your wishes to match God's. It is not always answered the way you want, but it is always heard. And sometimes, child, when the answer is slow to come, that is still an answer. Silence does not mean He is absent. Delay does not mean He is saying no. There are things God is building in you while you wait that no blessing could teach you. So pray with purpose. Don't just toss words into the air like small coins into a wishing well. Speak with clear intent. Speak like a daughter talking to her father, a son seeking safety in his Creator. Speak like someone who knows the God of the universe is truly listening, not with impatience, but with boundless compassion. Your prayer doesn't have to be long to be powerful. Jesus wept. That was a prayer. A woman's lips moved but made no sound. That was a prayer. The thief on the cross said, remember me, and heaven fully opened. So do not let the world convince you that prayer must be like poetry. Let it be strong. Let it be from your own heart. Let it come from the true core of who you are. There are mornings when your thoughts are messy, your body is worn out, and your faith feels low on fuel. That is not the time to stop praying. That is the time to lean in, to sit still, to say, God, I don't have the words, but I know you hear the tears. The tears are a language. The deep sighs are sacred. The quiet space between your sentences. God hears that too. He knows the weight you are carrying. He knows the child you're worried about. The bills piling up, the hurt that is still heavy in your heart. He knows the secrets you haven't told anyone else. And still He loves you. Still He waits to hear from you. Not because He doesn't already know, but because He wants you to come closer. Prayer is closeness. It is a special relationship with the Almighty. It is not a trade. It is a relationship. And like any relationship, it gets stronger the more time you spend on it. So make time for it. Not just when things go wrong, but in the quiet moments. Not just in moments of need, but with gratitude. Let prayer become the rhythm of your day. A soft song that plays beneath all the noise. You don't need to wait until you feel perfect or calm or certain. Come to Him messy. Come to Him upset. Come to Him with all your broken pieces. He is not bothered by your confusion. He is not surprised by your pain. He invites it. He says, "Come to me, all who are tired," not just those who are flawless. And when you pray, listen. Prayer is not a one-person speech. It is a two-way talk. Speak, but also be quiet. Wait for the soft message. It may not be loud like thunder. It may not shake the room. But God speaks through gentle pushes, through peace, through scripture, through the sudden clarity you didn't have before. Listen with your spirit. He will answer. Not always the way you want, but always the way you need. There is power in this kind of connecting. People may wonder why you don't break under pressure, why you keep standing up when life hits you hard. But they weren't there in your private prayer spot. They didn't see you on your knees whispering belief when all you had was fear. They didn't hear you say, "God, I trust you," with tears on your face. That's why your morning dedication is sacred. It is the secret place, the spot where your weakness meets God's strength. It is where the heavy feeling lifts, even if the actual problem remains. It is where peace arrives, even if the issue is still there. It is where you are reminded of who you are and who holds you. You are not alone, child. Every time you bow your head, heaven pays attention. Every time you call His name, the angels take note. And every time you pray, something changes. Even if you can't see it right away, prayer moves things. Sometimes it moves the mountain. Sometimes it moves you. So don't rush it. Don't treat prayer like a quick machine. Stay for a while. Pour out your heart. Let the Spirit comfort you. Let the presence of God refresh you. Let His love wash over you like morning light coming through an open window. That's the kind of deep connection that will change you. That's the kind of prayer that makes bad things leave and hope come back. Pray with full intention. Pray with your whole heart. And then rise from that place, not with all the answers, but with the certainty that no matter what the day brings, you've already put it in the hands of the one who holds you. Child, there comes a time in every person's life when the world's voice gets louder than the gentle voice of the Spirit. And in these moments, you must be still. Not just silent, but still as in firmly rooted, still as in securely tied down, still as in not moved by the storm that tries to blow you off course. You must learn to listen deeply to that soft, guiding voice that doesn't yell, but calls you by name in the quiet. So often, we think noise means progress. We run around quickly, packing our schedules and our minds with more and more, all in the name of getting things done. But my dear, there is no power in a mind that is full of clutter. There is no peace in constant business. You must clear the space in your heart and invite God in to speak. Listening is an important skill. It is the practice of setting aside your pride, of making your own thoughts, your fears, your assumptions quiet, and leaning in with trust. There are important insights waiting for you in the silence that cannot be found in the noise. But too many of us are afraid to sit still long enough to hear them. We fear what will come up when everything else is removed. But what comes up, child, is not what will break you. It is your freedom. When you listen for God's voice, you begin to notice it everywhere. In the rustle of the leaves, in the steady rhythm of your breathing, in a stranger's unexpected kindness, in the holy words of Scripture. He speaks through dreams, through surprises, through closed doors and open doors. But if you're too busy talking, too busy worrying, too busy doubting, you will miss it. To hear God, you must trust Him enough to quiet yourself. And that is hard in a world that teaches us to always have something to say, to fill every space, to stop every moment of silence. But in the stillness, child, there is holy ground. The Spirit speaks not to impress you, but to teach you, not to entertain you, but to show you the way. God is not putting on a show. He is getting you ready. But getting ready needs your attention. When you start your morning dedication, don't just come with things you want. Come with respect. Come with a heart that says, "Speak, Lord. Your servant is listening." Not, "Lord, here's what I want," but, "Lord, what do you want from me?" That small change, that turning of your ear and your willingness, opens the door to divine understanding. And let me tell you something, wisdom is not loud. Foolishness shouts, wisdom whispers. God does not fight with chaos. He waits until you are quiet enough to hear him. That's why Jesus often went to lonely places to pray. Not because he needed to be alone to talk, but because he needed to be alone to listen. You must create a space for the holy whisper, a place where the Spirit can walk through your heart and speak life into dry areas. A place where you let go of your need to know everything and just rest in the knowledge that God knows, and that is enough. Listening is an act of letting go. It is setting aside your pride, your need to control, the desire to be in charge. It is an honest statement, Lord, I don't know the path, but I know you do. And in that statement, my dear, there is power. Because when you give up your own plan, you make room for his purpose, and his purpose will never fail. Have you ever sat quietly and felt tears start without warning? That's God speaking.